33-year-old Toby Sheldon from Los Angeles likely has a serious condition known as body dysmorphic disorder, but the press has decided to poke fun at him because he has spent $100,000 on plastic surgery to look like Justin Bieber. Now, he started getting plastic surgery 10 years ago at the age of 23. He had a hair transplant procedure. In fact, he had 3 hair transplant procedures. And then when Justin Bieber became very, very famous, he really liked the boyish, youthful look to Justin Bieber, so he wanted to somehow copy that. So he went off to have face fillers, a chin reduction, and he also had eyelid surgery.
That sounds really painful. I don't want anybody messing with my eyelids, let alone reducing my chin. You know, they can have some significant work. I have a chin that could be reduced. So now I know you're taking this very seriously, but you can see why people make fun. I mean, you want to look like Justin Bieber, that seems really, really weird.
I know, but I don't think it's so much about, look, I think that the press wants to find like some celebrity angle to attach to this. And by the way, it's because he says he wants to look like Justin Bieber, but I think that people are harping on that because they know that that makes the story a little more interesting and it'll get a little more attention. You use the tag Justin Bieber, of course people are going to pick up on it. But the reality is this guy had a mental condition prior to Justin Bieber, okay, where he felt that he needed to get hair transplants at the age of 23. He had 3 of them, and then he went on to get face fillers and all these crazy surgeries. He had one surgery known as the controversial smile surgery, where they literally do something to his lips where it looks like he has a permanent smile.
You know, the other way you can fix that, instead of spending $30,000, which is what he spent on the smile surgeries, smile.
It's exhausting, though. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, right?
Yeah.
So, look, I know what you're saying, Anna, but it's I don't know where to draw the line, because Heidi Montag, we made fun of her, and she had 1 million surgeries, and obviously she was disturbed and wouldn't stop with with all those plastic surgeries, and she went from like looking good to, hey, you know, after the first couple, I gotta admit, like looking pretty good, to looking disastrous.
Yeah, so let me jump in about that. So when we covered that story, I mean, that was years and years ago, and I feel like I'm going to come off as a granny here when I cover this, but I just feel like we were too harsh on her because I think that there was something wrong in her head. You know what I mean? Instead of kind of focusing on why she had those desires to look that way and why she underwent 10 plastic surgeries in one session. We just decided to like make fun of her because she seemed like a clown. But the reality is, first of all, there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way, especially for women. But it goes even beyond that for people like this 33-year-old, where you look in the mirror and you look totally fine, but the image that reflects is an image of someone who's so hideous, right? It's an illness. And I worry about that because he's saying that he's really happy, but where does it stop? And when do plastic surgeons finally turn these patients away? I mean, I think you have a moral obligation to say, look, enough is enough. You're 33 years old. You've spent $100,000. You now look scary. I hate the plastic surgeons that continuously do these surgeries.
Well, there's always going to be greedy guys who are going to be willing to do those surgeries, and I don't know where the line is between funny and disturbed. Because, look, Montag did it for the fame, right? So I'm supposed to really feel bad for her? I don't know.
She was definitely a fame whore, but at the same time, she had issues with the way she looked. She was beautiful, but she didn't think she was beautiful. And I'm not trying to say that plastic surgery is always wrong. I'm not against plastic surgery. I want to be 100% clear about that. But when you have 10 surgeries in one session, or when you've already spent $100,000 on surgery when you looked fine in the first place, you have an issue. And
especially when you're trying to look like a 17-year-old boy or 16-year-old boy like Justin Bieber, where, you know, when he first broke out, that's a lot of issues, dude. I think I have the reverse issues. Like, you know, they look in the mirror and see something like much worse than reality. I look at the mirror and see something much better. I'm like, oh, this dude is good looking. And here's what I don't need: a face filler. Mission accomplished on that one.
You have unbreakable confidence. Like, I want a little bit of that, you know, because I go through my
moments. Who doesn't want a little bit of this? You know what I'm saying?
I don't want any of that. I want some of the confidence, because I definitely think that you need it, especially when you work in show business or when you're some sort of public figure. You're going to have people tearing you down for the way you look all the time.
You know, my wife this morning said, "Are you aware that you have hair there?"
Sexy.
But nonetheless, unbreakable confidence.